Her name's Bonnie. My preschool gave her to me because we used to be able to take her home for a week, and the preschool gave it to me. And she's been everywhere with me. She's been in an ambulance before, she's been to Disneyland, she's been to America, she's been to Queensland, she's been everywhere.
We were at a friend's place and she was jumping on a trampoline and she fell and hurt her leg. Took her to the hospital and they x-rayed it and said, no, she's fine, you know, she's probably putting it on a little bit, you know, just being a kid. Yeah, she's not like that. So this was on the weekend, so I took her to my GP on Monday. And he had a look at her and said, oh, we might do a blood test. And then he rang me the next day and said, I want you to come in. And I knew straight away, doctors don't get you to come in for no reason, what's wrong. And so I rang Dave and got him to come home from work, and we drove to the doctors and he sat us down and said, I think Maddy's got leukemia.
The striking thing really was, I think, the shock that it was to her mum and dad. They had Maddy, they had 2 younger children, and their youngest child was only about 7 or 8 weeks old.
The first night that we spent in hospital, we were put in a ward. Opposite our bed was a little girl that Maddy met. Her name was Ava. She sort of called me to come over and asked me quietly, how come she hasn't got any hair? I said the medicine that they give her made her lose her hair. I said, but when she's better it will grow back. And I was having to tell my 4.5-year-old little girl that loves playing princesses and pigtails and ribbons, and that was going to happen to her. Yeah, it was hard.
When they put like chemo in, she'd scream, like it hurts. When they put it in, it actually hurts her. She can feel it going in, even to the point some drugs she could taste it. She'd tell us she could taste like a metal. Yeah, like, so seeing your kids in pain when there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, it's probably the hardest.
We're very proud of a test that we developed at the Institute that does 2 things. It allows us to identify the children that are at highest risk of relapse so that we can pass that information on to the doctors, and the doctors will intensify their treatment. But it also allows us to identify those children who are at lower risk of relapse and for whom more intensive treatment is unnecessary.
That testing was absolutely available to Maddy, and what that testing demonstrated to us, me as her doctor, is that her leukemia dropped very quickly, and therefore her treatment didn't need to be intensified and made more aggressive.
They're trying to put a cannula in her arm so that she could get a port put in, and the nurses were finding it really hard to find a vein, so I think they're up to about their 5th try. Maddy was screaming, it broke my heart. And yeah, she just stopped and started singing.
I wonder what you are.
We are working extremely closely with the clinicians at Sydney Children's Hospital to develop a platform of personalised medicine, which will involve taking the cancer cells of each child who is at high risk of relapse and identifying the particular drugs that will work most effectively in that child's cancer.
Do you know what time it is when a gorilla sits on your car?
No, what time is it when a gorilla sits on your car?
It's time to get a new car!
Maddy's very strong. She's a very, very strong little girl, so no matter what she was going through, she just wants to have a bit of fun and play around and watch TV and watch DVDs. And
Still managed to laugh and smile and dance, and even with their IV poles and the cords and wires hooked up to them.
people don't realise as much, but they see kids like Maddy and healthy, happy kids like Maddy because of them. But it's simple as that.
Because of research.
Because of what they do and all the research and the work they do.
Maddy's journey will never be over.
We believe that this is a program that has the capacity to change the way in which children with cancer in this country are treated, and is going to be the route to our vision of one day curing every child with cancer.